Hey everybody, it's Chris. I know this is going to be a little weird since you're used to seeing videos on this channel about movies and TV shows, but today we're going to be talking about one of my other great loves, which is coffee. Specifically, we're going to be talking about how I am experimenting with making spiced coffee, and even more specifically, spiced cold brew coffee. So let's roll an intro and get into it. If you know anything about North America or any of the other territories where pumpkin spice has invaded, we are just about to hit pumpkin spice latte season, and it had me thinking about what you could do to create other types of coffee that are spiced like that, but not what you normally would get from a pumpkin spice latte, which I love pumpkin, like pumpkin pie is my favorite pie, so I get the allure, but pumpkin spice lattes taste like trash in my opinion, so we don't want to do that. I wanted to find something else to drink, and that is what led to today's video, because I have made this glorious concoction that is heaven in a glass, which is my spiced cold brew almond milk, the barista almond milk specifically, because it has a higher fat content, so you can do things like foam it and make lattes with it and things like that. And then a little bit of Nestle sweet cream, because I want just a little bit of sweetness in it. So today we're going to talk about how I made that concoction happen. And the most important ingredient is this little mix, which is simply organic pre-brew coffee spices. This specifically are the awakened spices, which feature cinnamon, fennel, and anise, which there's also like cracked black pepper in it, which gives a little spice, which is nice, but the majority of the taste you're getting is from those three ingredients. This is made as a pre-brew addition to your coffee. So if you were going to make hot coffee, you would grind your beans, or if you're a heathen and a monster, you would just take your already pre-ground coffee beans, and you would add a certain amount of this to that, and then run your water through it in whatever way you're doing, pour over or French press or drip coffee machine, whatever. And then on the other side of that brewing process, you would have this spiced coffee. So I'm making cold brew, like I said, so we do a little bit different. So let's talk about the process of cold brew really quickly. I'm going to do an entire video on it. I think this is going to be the first in a series of CJDExplains videos on coffee, just because it's one of my favorite things, and it just, because of timing and pumpkin spice fever, this one was made first. But essentially, cold brew coffee is just grinding your coffee beans to a very rough size, very like a rough chop, basically. And you combine that with filtered water, and you don't apply heat. So the easiest way to do this is to get like a Dutch oven or a container of some sort. I have various containers for different sizes that I want if I want to make a bunch of cold brew or a little bit, but I started out with an enamel and cast iron Dutch oven you can get from Target or Kmart or wherever, super cheap, and you combine 1 pound of coffee with a certain amount of water based on how much intensity you want in it, and then you just stir it. You grind it, you dump it in the water, you stir it together, and then you cover it and set it on your counter somewhere for 12 to 36 hours, and it steeps over time slowly. This creates a mellower, sweeter flavor because there's no heat being applied to the beans, which is what releases the bitterness that you get and some of the acid that happens in the coffee. So this is very low acid and no bitterness whatsoever. It's naturally sweet, and in fact, and then at the end of that allotted time, 12 to 36 hours, depending on how you want to do it, you just strain it, you filter it. You can use just a coffee filter in a coffee pot, or I use cheesecloth and all of that. I have a whole process because I'm a crazy person. But you drain it and capture all of the grounds so that all you have left is this beautiful, thicker, way more aromatic coffee. And at that point, you can do one of two things. You can cut it with water and then store it so that it's more like regular coffee, or you can store it in concentrate, which is what you have after you steep it, and then you can cut it with whatever you want as you're drinking it. I keep it concentrate because I actually drink the concentrate because, again, I'm a crazy person, but also I usually like to mix it with things like almond milk and stuff like that so that I'm not wanting to water it down twice. And so that's how you make cold brew in a nutshell. Like I said, more involved video coming soon, but for the purposes of this one, it's about how we're going to use this awakened spices from Simply Organic to make that cold brew even more amazing. And so essentially you follow the steps as you would where you're going to add this to a hot coffee preparation, but you add probably about twice as much of this to the quantity of grounds and water than you normally would. So whatever it says on the back, you just double that, because it's with no heat, it takes longer for the flavor to be released and to mix into the liquid than normal. So that's actually it. And this is a really long video for just add this crap to your coffee grounds. But like I said, I'm super excited about it. This is the heaven, and it's ridiculous how good this is. You owe it to yourself, if you like coffee and you like new experiences with your coffee, to go and find some of this or something like that, or just grab some cinnamon, fennel, anise, and crack some black pepper on that mother and throw it into your coffee grounds in your next batch of coffee, whether it's hot or cold, just to experience the difference. Yeah, that's it for this strange video. Hopefully it was interesting. If I can find this on Amazon, I'll put a link to it in the description. Or if I find whatever I find that is analogous to this, if I can't find this, I'll leave something in the description so you can play with this if you wanted to. I mean, I don't have the words, and that's crazy because I'm a wordy person. I don't have the words to describe how freaking phenomenal this is, and how just simple it is to do. And the next video we'll talk about how to make cold brew and why it's a great idea, and the different applications you can do for it, because you can use it in cooking as well, not just drinking. It's just a fantastic thing. So yeah, that is it for this video. And I haven't even had that much caffeine today. I'm just so excited to drink that I'm trying to run through this video, because it's my reward for filming this, is to drink that giant cup of coffee. So yep, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't give it a thumbs down, it's free internet, won't hold it against you. Subscribe if you haven't, and if you liked this video where I'm espousing the virtues of this spice mix and the love of coffee that I have, let me know in the comments, and I'll make more of this stuff. I'm gonna make the cold brew video because I've already said I'm going to, but I had this idea to make all kinds of videos because I make 25 different types of coffee. And if that seems like it's something you would like to see, let me know so I can know to make them. All right, I'm gonna stop this so I can drink my coffee now. Later.